This video has been created only as a supplement to the owner's manual and is specifically intended to address Little Caesar's use of machine. All of the manufacturer's information regarding safe usage, cleaning, preventative maintenance, and warranty support is located in your owner's manual. In this video, we'll be going over the lid safety switch and lid spring removal and installation. Start by opening the lid switch and lid spring cover. The limit switch must be removed to prevent damage to the switch. Use an 8mm socket wrench to remove the lid limit safety switch. Use a Phillips screwdriver to unscrew the retaining screw. Do not lose the spacer. At this point, you can open the lid. Use a rubber mallet to start loosening the lid bolt. Have a partner open and hold open the lid for this part. Use a brass punch to force the bolt through one opening. Once the bolt has cleared through that one opening, close the lid. This is to ensure that the lid does not slam. Continue to drive the bolt out. Once the bolt has cleared, remove the bolt and the spring assembly. When replacing the spring, make sure to grease the spring bushing and the shaft. When installing the new bolt and spring, it will take some time and patience. Ensure that the spring is placed in the correct orientation. The left side will go behind the metal notch, and right side will go in front of the metal notch. Again, orientation is critical. The left side is placed behind the metal notch, and the right side is placed in front of the metal notch. Use a pry bar to align the spring and bolt as you are driving the bolt through. Use the rubber mallet to lightly tap in the bolt while using the pry bar to keep it aligned. Keep tapping until tapping doesn't work anymore. Use a 24mm wrench or an adjustable wrench to turn the bolt so it fits through the square fitting space on the curved disc. Continue tapping through. Again, use the pry bar to align the holes. You may need to alternate by prying towards you and prying away from you to get the correct adjustments. Over the next 6 minutes are the hardest part of this installation. You will get frustrated. If you are trying too hard and banging on the bolt, you are doing it wrong. If it goes in too easy, then the spring is not properly situated with the left side behind the notch and the right side in front of the notch. It should be a balanced amount of tapping and readjusting. Try to stay comfortable during this procedure. Once the bolt is almost through, lift the lid all the way back and drive the bolt all the way through. This part will put tension on the spring. Line up the square portion of the bolt with a square cutout on the hinge. You will need a 24mm wrench or an adjustable wrench for this portion. While holding it in place, you can use the rubber mallet to drive the bolt through. Once the bolt has gone all the way through, apply the retaining screw and tighten. Check the installation of the spring by closing the lid. There should be resistance in the closing motion. When installing the switch, make sure to keep the bolts a little loose. Adjust the height of the switch. This will ensure that the switch won't break. It will also help calibrate the switch so that it will turn off the motor when the lid is open. Make sure the plunger of the switch is in the notch of the curved disc when the lid is closed. This position is very critical. At this point, tighten down the bolts, but do not over-tighten. Remove contents of the bowl. Apply power to the machine to test the switch to make sure, number 1, opening the lid will turn off the motor, and number 2, opening the lid won't break the switch. Close the cover panel and tighten down all 4 screws. Please contact Proxys if you have any questions regarding parts or service.